This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Trouble off turn 2.
Behind the field, that looks like the 23. Is that the 23 of Josh Krug?
I think it is. Caution flag is out. A single car incident here at Talladega. We hate to see Josh Krug with this problem, but we're certainly glad to see it's a single car. No more cars involved.
You don't see very many single car wrecks at a place like Talladega.
44 of 94 laps. We're on the 44th lap. That leaves us 50 laps to go. I think just about everyone could get in their window. I believe, Hermie, I would come down pit road here, make sure I had enough fuel to get to the end, and then see how this race plays out.
And he needs to be careful right there also. You can see right here on the monitor, he's got a flat left front tire. And if he didn't get that thing to pit road very quickly, that tire can come apart and tear that race car all to pieces.
Josh was on the inside right there. I don't know if he got a little contact or maybe just lost a little air off that rear spoiler. Talladega had a great idea a few years ago and paved that entire section of racetrack. Before, at one time, that was all grass. A lot of times we saw cars really get in trouble, maybe get upside down when they went from the transition from asphalt to grass.
As close as they're running on the racetrack, Mario Goslin actually got into the wall on the last lap. Let's take another look.
Mario's in that 12 car on the outside behind the 61 of Chase Austin. Going in turn number 3. See Mario's going to ease up through trouble.
Problems. We've got problems on the racetrack. The 29 gets turned around. That's Mike
Giacchetti.
Mike Giacchetti.
See all the damage to the left rear. That's the Keselowski's car right there. A lot of damage to the left rear corner.
Out of Clayton, Georgia, close. There's another problem for the 84 of Norm Benning. A lot of damage to the left front of that car. So our third caution has come out.
See the 29 of Mike Giacchetti just loses control, and then the 84 of Norm Benning comes along and really nowhere to go. Makes some pretty hard contact.
Kimmel for that Super Speedway Challenge. He leads him by 100 points coming into today's race. Now, what the folks at home didn't see was action on pit road. When Aaron Crocker came down pit road, she spun out right in front of the 31 of Tim McCready, and the tire changer actually hit the front of her hood. So a little bit of action that we missed, but the crew guys were telling me about it, how crazy and chaotic. We were watching the 5 of Mark Thompson go around with Michael McDowell.
Problems on the racetrack. Problems on the racetrack. Winning, I saw him get a little bit wild in the back there. And the caution has come out. A lot of damage to the front of that Ford Fusion.
Is that Billy Leslie right there? It looks a lot like Billy Leslie's car. It is Billy. You see him moving around there. I tell you, he took a heck of a shot to the outside wall as well as the inside wall.
I was going to say, took 2 shots, but good to see that window net was down before he got off the banking of the racetrack. And that's what happens when these guys start seeing the end in sight. They get closer and closer and closer, and eventually it happens.
McDowell was involved in this as well. He's on pit road.
Josh Wise also. The 22 Napa car. Looks like Richard Johns possibly right there. No, that's the 07 of Billy Tanner. That yellow car just, oh, well, there goes the point battle right there.
There went the points championship for Michael McDowell. Any chance of it? And that is exactly what we thought Talladega was going to be. It would be the difference maker if you could get into the championship hunt or if you could lock it up. And it looks as though Frank Kimmel could lock it up today.
People want to hear. Everybody's out there trying to do, the right thing and try to make it. But this guy definitely had a cut tire. The 2 car did, and caused problems for everybody. Unfortunate situation, but you need to sometimes take a breath, sit back, and find out what really happened before you start talking.
And that's... Welcome back. Racing continues. Green flag racing continues at Talladega. The Arca Remax 250 closing in on its final laps.
See the top about 10, 12 cars, single file, and then it gets wild, gets 2 and 3 wide behind them. Those guys at the back have to try to make something happen.
Yeah, and this is a very, very tense time, the most tense time of the day for the spotters and the drivers. We talked about how excited they were with 30 to go. Now we're inside 10 to go. These guys know it's time to go.
Billy Venturini on the outside. He ducks back into line. He looks like he's flirting with that second line, but nobody's going to go with it.
Sometimes they pull out a little bit there, Rick, to see if the guys behind him kind of test the water to see if that guy behind him is going to pull out and go with him. But right now, looks like everybody is committed to staying in that yellow line, at least for now, Phil.
Yeah, now is when the spotters or the crew chiefs need to get together and say, if you go, I'm going to go with you. Because if we're sitting back here in 6th or 7th, we can't win this race back here, and it's all about winning. So this is when there needs to be some deals done. We heard Frank say there are no deals right now.
All deals go out the window, I think, when you get inside of 5 to 7 laps. Problems on the infield. That's a 47. Philip Magilton gets turned around, and the caution will come out once again.
He was running up inside the top 10 in 9th position last time by. Philip Magilton, tough break for him. But you talked about it, Phil. You looked at me just a second ago and said, these guys are getting close together. They're going to have some contact, and definitely something happened there with the 47.
Yeah, he was able to get going again. Hopefully get down to pit road here, get some tires on that car. He did not lose the lap. You see him just, ooh, that's
lifted off the ground.
Completely lifted off the ground by the 21 of Scott Speed. That's where bump drafting goes bad right there.
What do you call that? That's not bump drafting. I'm not sure exactly what you call it.
I believe that's called lift drafting.
How about the guy in front of him? Is he ready for that tap as well? Just a chain reaction. That's usually the way it happens here at Talladega.
Yeah, and I think Scott Speed was a victim there. You see all the damage to the hood of that Red Bull Toyota.
On some restarts anyway, and this guy is young. He wants to win. He's
long. And now, when he comes to the start-finish line, it will be 4 laps to go. 4 laps around this 2.66 mile super speedway. Green flag back in the air, back in the gas is Michael Annett. He gets a good start, and it could be to his demise.
This is their shot. When they get to him now, they need to get together and lay back a little bit, go up high, get a little space in between them.
Scott Speed had to check up and get on the outside of this pack.
Michael Annett, though, Rick, exactly what we talked about. The caution, the green flag hits us 4 to go. He says, I'm in the gas, I'm going through the gears, and gone. Let's see what the 99 of Colin Brown can do with him once he gets back to him.
He's been awfully strong, but I still think those cars are going to catch him. It all depends on how much momentum they have when they get there. What they really need is Dominic Casola and those cars behind them to be helping. There's only the 2 cars there. They've got a little momentum now. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, Herman.
2 is not going to be enough. They really need cooperation from the guys behind them. They need to get a rush from the guys, Dominic Casola, Richard Johns, Billy Venturini, to try to make an effort here.
This is going to be difficult for Frank Kimmel because right now, if Colin Brown thinks, hey, I've got Kimmel behind me, I know that he's going to stay with me and we can go to the outside and pass Michael Annett. Well, right now they don't have that run that they had earlier, so they almost have to be patient. Right now, the 99's peeking to the outside. He gets back behind the 28. We'll see if they make the move going down the backstretch.
Yeah, he needs some space. He needs some space between those cars to get some momentum. If he just pulled out right now, the whole line would have to go with him to do anything, and they've already talked about staying with a 28, 5 and 6 cars back.
Single file line through 3 and 4. When they come by this time, it will be 2 laps of racing to go from Talladega.
I think one thing's for certain, I don't think Michael Annett is leaving that yellow line. Whatever they do, they're going to have to do it behind him because he's pretty much planted his car right to that yellow line, which is a good smart move on his part.
Yeah, he has done such a terrific job. First ever start on a racetrack like this and doing a terrific job. Led the majority of this race, and here he is, 2 laps to go with the lead.
Michael Annett out of Des Moines, Iowa. Started second on this race. His best finish 3rd came in Iowa earlier this year. Looking to improve on that today, and what better place than Talladega Superspeedway. Now there's a gap between he and the field. Let's see if they will reel him in and see if they can move to the outside.
Now they're spreading out a little bit. We're seeing some movement. Look at the 99, look to the outside.
Here comes Colin Brown. He's looking to the outside. Let's see if he's got enough to make it by. Frank Kimmel's going to look on the outside with him. This time by, they're going to see the white flag. 1 lap of racing to go in Talladega.
Well, the 99 really wanted to pull down to the inside. Now Frank's going to go to the inside with the 28.
Exactly the opposite of what Frank Kimmel told the 99 team. He said, I'll stay with you. The 99 went outside. Kimmel ducks to the inside.
And Kimmel said it's a little too late for a deal. He had a deal for the restart, but apparently trying to do everything he can. Every point right now critical for Frank Kimmel.
The final lap here at Talladega. Down the backstretch they go. Kimmel second. Michael Annett first.
They are bumping and banging all the way down the backstretch.
Look at how far Colin Brown has fallen back now that he's moved to the outside. Let's see if Kimmel has anything for Michael Annett at the finish of this race.
got one more chance to make a move here. It doesn't look like Dominic Casola is close enough to him.
Coming out of turn 4, through the tri-oval, Michael Annett in front of Frank Kimmel. Can Kimmel make the run on him? He looks to the inside. Kimmel on the inside, but it's Michael Annett who will win the race.
What a nice job on Michael Annett. All these guys up here running so close together with no problem.
Unbelievable how good of a run Michael Annett has. Dominic Casola, a 3rd place finish. Richard Johns 4th. Billy Venerini 5th. Amazing day for Frank Kimmel and that points championship he is hunting once again.
Yeah, Frank Kimmel now will probably just go to just have to show up in Toledo, and that championship is his for the 9th time.
And Frank Kimmel made an awesome run. One thing over here at Talladega, the start-finish line is way past the tri-oval down towards turn 1. Frank tried to make a move, got about halfway up the side of him, just waited a little bit too late to try to get that run.
Across the start-finish line, it was Michael Annett and Frank Kimmel, 4/100ths of a second behind Michael Annett when they went across that stripe. A relatively calm race here to start off this weekend from Talladega Superspeedway. We didn't see the big one that normally collects 10 to 12 to 15 cars. We did see a multi-car accident that happened when Michael McDowell got turned around. Our winning crew chief is now a Jim Trado.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a paid advertisement for The Magic Bullet, brought to you by Homeland Housewares.